What is going on, fellow farmers? Welcome back to another beginner's guide tutorial on FS25 with your boy cjfarms. Today, guys, I'm going to be talking about how to plant and harvest and sell your red beets. Now, red beets, carrots, and parsnips kind of go hand in hand, and they're all planted and harvested pretty much the same way, aside from one step. If we go over here, this is going to be the equipment you are going to need to plant your red beets, carrots, and parsnips is going to be these right here. If you go into the store and you go down to vegetables and you go to vegetable planters, right here you will see that these specific machines here, these will plant your carrots, parsnips, and red beets, and also spinach. Okay, they also do spinach. I believe that's what that is right there, spinach. These right here, these two machines, you're also going to need if you're planting your red beets. I believe I think you might have to have them for all those crops. Yeah, so you have to use all these, not all of them, but you can pick like these two machines here, or you can pick a combination of these two to plant your carrots, parsnips, and red beets, or spinach. We're not doing spinach, but I'm showing you how to do this all in one go. Okay, so let's exit out. Now, this machine right here actually is what puts the grooves in the dirt to allow you to plant your vegetables afterwards. So, for example, these two machines go together. Now, there was a way in FS22 to hook these machines together, not the big ones, but the smaller ones here. See the blades on the back of them? So that's what puts the grooves in the dirt and allows you to plant your vegetables. In FS22, you could actually hook these two machines together, but for some reason, you cannot do it in FS25. Now, I might just be completely doing it wrong. I don't know. I've tried every which way but loose to hook these things up, and I can't get them to hook together, so we're just going to have to do it separately. The same with these machines right here. I don't believe they hook together. We can try it, but I just don't see a way that they would actually, combine to each other and hook together. So, yeah, I just don't think, because if that was the case, then if anything, this would have to be the first machine that would hook up, because that puts the grooves in first, and then your planter comes in behind it and plants the vegetables after the grooves are put in the dirt. So here's what we're going to do. Let's start by talking about all the equipment though. So a few days ago, FS25 brought in a mod, and I normally do not ever use mods in tutorials, but I think it's absolutely necessary to use a mod for this tutorial. And this mod, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I think it's for all platforms, and you can find this in your in-game mod hub, which is this harvester that we are currently looking at right here. Now, if we go into the store and we go down to vegetables and we go to vegetable harvesters, okay, and you go in here, you're going to see these harvesters right here, and I'm going to tell you why you should not use these. You can use them if you want, but I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't. And this one right here. When people see a harvester like this, we'll talk about this one first. When people see a harvester like this right here, the first thing they're going to think is, oh, cool, we got a huge vegetable harvester that's going to actually, quote unquote, store our vegetables, right? Normally when you're using a harvester, you can store the crop, and later on, after the harvester gets full, you can then pull your harvester over to a trailer, right, and empty your crop into that trailer. Not the case scenario here. This harvester actually does not store your crop at all. It will not store it, and it will not harvest unless you have another tractor and a trailer pulling beside this. So pretty much what you got to do is you got to buy this harvester for the $637,500, which in my opinion is just not worth it. This machine should cost no more, at the very least, $100K, because it does not store the crop. But when you buy this machine, if you buy this machine, I recommend that you don't, but if you do, you're going to have to get this machine, and you're going to have to hire a helper to harvest your vegetables while you get a tractor and a trailer and pull beside it the whole entire time this is harvesting your red beets, carrots, parsnips, spinach, whatever you're doing. you've got to, I don't think this does spinach, but it does red beets, carrots, and parsnips. But you've got to have a tractor and trailer pulling beside this thing the entire time just to get it to harvest and to pour your crop out into the trailer, because this machine right here alone will not will not store any of the crop, right? I don't know why Giants thought it was a good idea to put this in the game, but this machine right here blows. It's stupid, and I don't even know the purpose of it, but it's not a good machine. Guys, don't get this machine. Don't waste $637,000 of your hard-earned money on Farm Sim to get a machine like this that you can't even operate yourself, that you have to have a tractor and trailer to pull beside it to get it to work in the first place. Here's what you want to do. These machines right here you don't want to use either, because this one right here, I believe, is the same way. This one definitely does not store crop. One of these has a set of forks that come down off the back, and I can't really tell which one it is. It might be this one. It might be the other one. It might be the smaller one here. It might be this one right here. Anyway, whichever one you pick, whichever one has the forks on the back that comes down, it only carries one crate at a time. Okay. Now in Farm Sim 22, we had these machines and they would carry 4 crates at a time. What I mean by crates is if you go back and go over to vegetables, go to consumables, these are your vegetable pallets right here. So when you're harvesting with one of those other machines, not the big one, but the other small ones I showed you, you can only put one of these boxes on those machines at a time. And that allows your carrots, red beets, parsnips, whatever you're harvesting, to fall into that box. And once that box gets full, you take it off at the sell point and you sell it. So you can only imagine how quick this thing fills up, how many boxes or pallets, whatever you want to call them, you're going to have laying around, or how many trips you're going to have to make back and forth to the store with just one pallet. Okay? Here's what I recommend that you do. Do not use those machines. They absolutely blow. They are not worth the money that you pay for them. But if you go back into vegetable harvesters, this mod right here is in the in-game mod hub. I know this has been quite an intro, guys, but I've got to talk to you about this so you know what is going to be best for your game. These mods right here are within your in-game mod hub. And again, don't hold me to it, but I believe this is for all platforms. This is the Tiger 6S root crop harvester. Look this up in your in-game mod hub and download it and install it. This one right here is the RRXL 9x45 root crop header for this machine right here. If I click on that machine and click combinations, it brings me right over to here, okay? So now you got one that only does potatoes, but you've also got the mod that does sugar beets, red beets, carrots, and parsnips, okay? Keep in mind this machine does not harvest spinach, okay? You have to have this machine to harvest spinach, okay? So just keep that in mind. But guys, go to the in-game mod hub and install this mod right here, the 6S root crop Tiger, the 9x45 root crop header. Install those and then come back to the video unless you already have it installed. And when in that case, you're going to pay $569,000 for this machine right here. Now, let me tell you why it's worth over $500,000, because this one actually stores your crops. So it's going to store your vegetables, whatever you're harvesting, red beets, carrots, parsnips. It's going to store it in the machine. Once the machine gets full, you can then take it over to your tractor and trailer, and you can pipe out, and you can dump your crop into the trailer and go back to harvesting the rest of your field. So you guys kind of see where I'm going with this. That's why this machine that's why this machine is worth it and these other machines are just junk. Okay, so get this machine right here, all right? Now, next up, we're going to talk about what kind of trailer we need for our root crop. So, whatever trailer you need, as a matter of fact, I hope this one holds root crop. Go into the store and go up to trailers, okay, and open this up. And down here, this is the trailer I am using it in-game. It's in-game. They do have a mod that I have, but this is part of the in-game. If you look right here, it tell you there's potatoes, sugar beets, red beets, carrots, and parsnips. So this trailer does hold what we need. Now, there's other trailers here you can pick from. Just make sure whatever trailer you pick, that it does hold the required crop that you are going to be harvesting, okay? You can pick a smaller trailer if you need to. It's completely up to you. I particularly prefer to use the Krone Big Boy right here. And I always put a cover on it as well. I just think the cover looks a lot better. But that's the trailer I'm using. Now, that's covering trailers. Now, we're going to need a fertilizer sprayer of some type because I'm also going to show you how to prep the field along the way. Okay? So, you're going to need a fertilizer sprayer of some type. Okay? So, if we go back into the store, all right, and we go down, I think it's under yield improvements. Right here, you can go to fertilizer spreaders, and you can get, you know, I use the Brettle. I'm using this for the sake of the tutorial. You're going to need a fertilizer spreader, but we're going to be using this one for the tutorial. Okay. Just remember that if you want to plow or lime, that's liming and plowing is only required every third harvest. Every third harvest is required. Okay, so you don't have to plow and you don't have to lime every time you go to plant something. That's only every third harvest. So if you've planted on one field and you've harvested crop on that one field 3 times in a row, then after that third time you've harvested, then you have to plow and then you have to lime, okay? I just want to make sure I'm making sense to everybody. All right, so fertilizer spreader. And again, you do not have to use this exact machine or this exact fertilizer. This machine takes solid fertilizer. You can also do fertilizer sprayers. You can do, liquid fertilizer. These are your fertilizer sprayers right here. You can also do manure. You can use manure for fertilizer, okay? And you can also use slurry. These are your slurry tanks. You can use those for fertilizer as well. So just kind of keep that in mind, okay? And these are your slurry transport tanks right here if you guys want to, check that out. But let's go back, and if you go into here where the yield improvement is and go into here, down here you're going to see right here is your solid fertilizer bags. Okay, that's your solid fertilizer, and your liquid fertilizer comes in these right here. Now, this is part of a mod, don't pay no attention to that, but there's your liquid Corteva liquid fertilizer, and then there's your Helm liquid fertilizer. Either one will work for the fertilizer sprayers. Remember, fertilizer sprayers take liquid fertilizer. Fertilizer spreaders take solid fertilizer. So keep that in mind, okay? Right here, I'm probably not going to be using this, but this is another one that I was going to use for lime, but I'm not going to do lime. I changed my mind on that. This right here, you can use that for a fertilizer spreader too as well, or a lime machine. It's completely up to you. If you go back into the store, let me get rid of that. Go back into the store. I just showed this to you, and go to fertilizer spreaders. Right here is that Brettle right here, and I love using this because you can put the extension as a big tank, and you can also put the 6-meter spreading unit on it, which is these right here. They fold down and they allow the machine to spray out further. Okay, so you can use that, as you guys can see, you can use that for fertilizer or lime. All right. Let's hop back out, and we went over these machines right here, but I will show you guys one more time. Cultivators, you're going to have a cultivator to cultivate your field, all right? So, again, go into the store, all right? And if we go down to, let's see here, where is it at? Cultivators. I'm probably completely passing it up. Yeah, I know, I've already passed it for a fact. So, we need to find cultivators. So right here, guys, cultivators under soil cultivation. Right here, you can use any cultivator you want. You can use a cultivator, you can use a subsoiler, or you can use a spader. It's completely up to you, all right? It's completely up to you. Now, if you do have stones enabled, field stone enabled, you're going to need a stone picker to pick up the rocks, to pick up the stones. That just saves on the wear and tear on your vehicles. And then afterwards, after you plant, no matter what crop it is you're planting, no matter what it is, after you plant, not before you plant, but after you plant, you are going to need a roller of some type, okay? So these are the 2 in-game rollers right here. I don't recommend using them because you can use them, but just keep in mind they do not lift. They always stay on the ground. They never lift. You can't lift them up, okay? These right here are all platforms. You can get these in the in-game mod hub. I recommend using one of these, as you can lift these off the ground. They do lift up. I don't know if this one does, but I know for a fact that these 2 lift off the ground. So we're gonna need a roller of some type. So I'm gonna get this one right here, and we'll check it and see if it rolls off, slips up off the ground, which I'm pretty sure it does. I'm gonna go ahead and buy that and hop back out. So we do have a roller. We got our cultivator. We've got our machines right here to plant our vegetables. Again, I'll show you where it is. Go back to the store. And if we go down to vegetables right here, you're going to go to vegetable planters. And in here are the machines. Now, keep in mind, these two go together. Now, they don't connect. I don't know how to connect them. If they connect in FS22, but they will not connect in FS25. I don't know why. These machines right here, these two go together. And you can use these two together as well. Or you can use this big one right here to leave your grooves. You can use this one to plant, or you can use this to leave your grooves and use this one to plant. Doesn't matter how you use them. It just doesn't matter, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. And let's hop into a tractor here. And you are going to have wheel weights. It says that you're planting red beets. And that's what we're planting today, guys, is red beets. I'm not doing carrots or parsnips because it's all the same process. All the red beets, carrots, and parsnips are all planted the exact same way. The only thing that's harvested differently that we were looking at is spinach. So let's hop into here. And we're going to go ahead. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go over to the field here. And this field we're using, we want to make sure, okay, so there's no fertilizer on the field, okay? Now, if you want to get that little window down there that I've got that says info box, if you go into your menu, go to settings, go to game settings, and make sure, it's under general settings, and make sure that your info box is on and that your field info is on. I think that's in here. Or it might be under game settings. Let me see here where it's at real quick. I can find this stuff on my own when I'm playing the game, but when I'm showing you guys where it's showing you guys where it's at, I can never ever find this stuff right away, and it kind of gets under my skin because I can never find it. So make sure here's the main thing. Make sure your interactive zone markers are on, make sure your info trigger's on, and your info box is on. I could have swore there was an option that said field info. I could have swore there was one that said field info. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. But if you see an option that says field info, make sure that the field info is turned on. Because if not, then you will not get that info box down there. But I'm pretty sure it's one of these right. I think it's the info box. So make sure that's turned on, guys, okay? And if you walk over there and the fertilize says 0%, well, what does that mean? That means we have to fertilize, okay? So we've got our fertilizer right there. So what we are going to do is I'm going to put a few boxes of fertilizer right here along with some seeds. That is the store delivery mod. I'll be doing a tutorial on that, guys. So if we go into the store, and I'm going to start from the top and come down, and we go over to seeds. We're going to do seeds first. All right here you can get seeds in this bag. You can get them in these pallets. Or you can get them in these right here. And I just always get them in these. I'm going to get 4 of these. Just 4 seed boxes right here. And we're going to buy those. Just like so. Just like so, like that. And then the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need fertilizer, okay? So if you go down to yield improvements and go to consumables, right here, now listen, keep in mind, if you're using a fertilizer sprayer, you are going to need liquid fertilizer, which is going to be this one right here or this one. If you are using a fertilizer spreader, you are going to need solid fertilizer, which is going to be this one right here, okay? So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to grab, we don't need 8, we just need 4 of them. And I'm going to buy those 4. My game's been running kind of slow. I'm not too sure why, guys, but it's been running kind of slow. There it goes. We got those. All right, so now we got our seeds and we got our fertilizer. So we're going to hop into our tractor here. And the first thing we're going to grab is we are going to grab our fertilizer sprayer or spreader, whichever one you got. All right, I got this one right here. Now you'll notice when you pull up beside the fertilizer bags that this lid is automatically going to open, okay? Just like so. And you can start filling it up just like that. You always want to make sure your fields are fertilized, guys and girls. Always make sure, make sure your fields are already always prepped and ready to go. You always want to do field prep. It's very important for the yield of your crop, okay? Also, putting bees somewhere next to your field, or not next to your field, but somewhere close to it, like on your farm, will actually help a lot too. So we're just going to go ahead and fill this the rest of the way up. All right? And we're going to go out here and we're going to start fertilizing this. Actually, what we'll do first, what we need to do first is we need to cultivate. It looks like the field is already cultivated, but I will show you guys anyway how to do it, but I think it's already cultivated. So let me drop this down right here. Let's disconnect that. We're going to drive over here and I'm going to grab the cultivator. That's the first thing we want to do. So we're going to hook it with this. Now remember, guys, every third harvest you need to plow and you need to lime every third harvest. Only every third harvest. So let me see here if this is already cultivated, but it looks like it might be. And if it is, I will go on to the next step, guys. But it looks like it might already be cultivated. All right, so we're going to go right here. I'm going to start cultivating this field. All right, so it has not been cultivated yet. So we're going to cultivate this field, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna finish cultivating this, and once I'm done, I will bring you all back into the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once our field is cultivated right there, now what we can do is we can jump into our tractor, and again, we cannot fertilize just yet. So we're gonna unhook this yet again. Let me drop that down. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into talking about planting our vegetables. So, one of the two machines you're going to need here first, all right? If you're using the smaller machines that we talked about a while ago, you're going to need one that's going to make the grooves, and you're going to need the planter that's actually going to plant the vegetables. So this right here is the one that makes the grooves. Can't remember the professional term for it, whatever it's called. But this is the one that puts the grooves in the dirt. This is the planter that actually plants your vegetables. On this side, this is the one that makes the grooves, and this is the one that plants your vegetables, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hop in the tractor, and we're going to hook up. I'm going to, of course, get the bigger one, but those are the combinations of the machines that you can use to plant your vegetables. And I'm going to hook up to this one right here. I'm going to lift that up. Well, we need to wait for the tractor probably. And we're going to unfold this. And we're going to go, I think I'm going to do this long ways. I think it's the same length either way across the field here. But we're gonna pull in here just like this. And you're going to see what I mean. It kind of gives it like a plowing state look is what it does. And we're going to drop this down. Now you do have to turn this machine on. So make sure that it's on. And we're going to start putting our grooves in the field here, just like that. As you guys can see, it kind of gives it a plow state, but not quite, but it's kind of what it looks like. But this is what's going to leave the grooves in the field here, and then you come in behind that and you plant your vegetables with the planter, whichever planter you decide to use. All right, so I'm going to get this field prepped for the next stage, which will be our planting. And then once I'm done, I will bring you all back into the video. All right, so once our field is prepped and ready to go, it's going to look a little something like this right here. Now, it's not going to be perfect, and you are going to have these grooves not the grooves we made, but the grooves from the tire track stuff. It's just going to happen, guys. Just some stuff that Giants needs to work out. I've noticed that, there's a difference between the tire tracks. And if you guys will notice right here, the machine behind me kind of jumped a little bit, missed a spot, but it's okay. It ain't got to be perfect. But there's a few little nicks and knacks that Giants still has to work out. They didn't fix in the last update. Like when I'm driving my tractor to the field or something, the tractor will come to a complete stop like it hit something. The only thing is there'll be nothing there to hit. So the next thing that we're going to want to do, that's what your field is going to look like when you're done prepping it. The next thing we're going to do is hop into our tractor, and we are now going to grab one of the planters. Whichever one you decide to use, you can go ahead and use that one, whether it's the small one or the bigger one. We're going to grab the planter here. We're going to hook up to that. and you're going to want to unfold this just like so. And we're going to pull it beside the seeds right here. It will say start filling. Now you probably won't get that thing down there, that little that prompt that you see on my screen. That's a mod I have installed. But if you look up in there in your in my help window right there, the left side of the screen, left top side of the screen, you will see where it says refilled seeder. Now it's showing my controls because I'm on controller, but if I go to keyboard and mouse, you will see it as the R key to refill your seeder, just like that. All right. Now we want to change that from carrots to red beets, because carrots, red beets, parsnips, they're all planted the same way and harvested the same way. Okay. So we're going to change this. If you look up there in the help window again, you'll see it says to hit the Y key to change it. And we're going to change this over to red beets. So you've got spinach, carrots, parsnips, and red beets. We're going to do red beets for this one. And you guys can kind of see that the red beet seeds went there pretty quick. I don't know how quick they drain out once you start planting, but we'll find out here in just a second. So we're going to pull up to the field. Your grooves are done. You've already put the grooves in the field. We're going to pull up. We're going to drop the planter down. We are then going to turn it on, and we are going to start planting our red beets right here, just like so. And even though it doesn't look like it's planting, it is. Okay, so if we walk back here, you will see that red beets are growing here. Now if we walk over this part of the field, nothing's growing because we haven't planted here yet. Okay, but if we walk back, you'll see that red beets are growing. Okay, so it may not look like they're planting them, but it is planting the red beets, I can assure you of that. So just kind of watch where you're planting at, because it doesn't necessarily leave a groove from your planter. So just kind of watch where you're planting at and know where you're planting at. That way you know exactly kind of which line to go to next. You know what I mean? So all right, and we're going to turn back around, and you guys can see it covers about 5 rows at a time. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go over about the next 5 rows. So I would go over a little bit like this, being the fact we planted right in this area right here. I'm going to put the edge of my planter right here on that line. Even though we've already planted here, as you can see, I want to make sure that I'm in the right area and that I'm getting it done right. Okay, we're going to turn it back on. We're going to start planting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to finish this field up, get all the red beets planted, and once I do, I will bring you all back into the video. All right, so once our red beets, carrots, parsnips, whatever you decided to plant are planted, you can tell there's not much difference. Now, when you're planting, it will cover like little spots like this. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But as you can see, we got the whole field, and like I said, you just got to kind of keep an eye on where you're planting. That way you kind of know where to turn around at and what part of the field to go back down when you start planting again, because you will miss spots if you're not careful, because normally when you're planting something, it leaves like different types of grooves to let you know that you've planted in that area. This planter does not do that for whatever reason. They probably need to maybe fix it to where it does, so it's a little easier to know where we're planting at. But it will cover little spots like that when you do plant over it. Just a little food for thought. So the next thing that we're going to do, our next step, is we're going to hop into the tractor, and we are now going to hook up to the fertilizer spreader, sprayer, whatever you got. Again, if you got a fertilizer spreader, then you need solid fertilizer. If you got a fertilizer sprayer, then you need liquid fertilizer. So just kind of keep that in mind. So we're going to get this right here. And now, most people think that you have to lower this to allow it to operate. You do not. Don't listen to people that tell you stuff like that. It's just a waste of time. I mean, you can lower it or raise it however you want. And you'll see once I start fertilizing here, you'll see the field start getting damp there. See that? And you can lower it. See, I can lower it or raise it. It's going to do the exact same thing. And if you guys noticed, as you were operating the seeders were dropping out of that planter pretty quickly. So you're going to have quite a few bags of seeds or some kind of seed store point to put your seeds in when you're planting these types of vegetables, because the seeds they do use up really, really fast. I think I was doing like every 3 rows, and I was having to refill my seeder every single time. So you get about 3 rows on a field like this anyway. You get about 3 rows, and then you got to refill your seeder again. Now, if you're doing like If you're doing like a really big field, then you're going to need a lot of seeds, guys. You're going to need a lot of seeds to do a big field, like, you know, a big field anyway. All right, so let's finish up this field here. There's no sense in cutting the video here because it's not going to take me long to fertilize this field. But as you guys can see, it's making the field damp. Now, if you don't want to go by that, or you can't go by that for whatever reason, if you go into your menu and you go to the map here and you go over to soil composition, which is right here, we are currently on field 35, right? Let me deselect all these here and just turn on fertilization. Now, you'll notice here, if it's in the light blue, that means it is 50% fertilized. If it is a dark blue like this, that means it is 100% fertilized. But another way you can tell is, let me shut this off and hop out. You'll walk up to the field. It will tell you right there at the bottom, it is 50% fertilized. We have a 75 plus yield bonus, okay? Now, the way you get it to 100% fertilization, I've had people ask me this a lot. The way that you get 100% fertilization on the field is you fertilize. Once you plant, you fertilize, okay? And then once it starts growing to like the first state, second state, as long as you fertilize again before it gets to the harvesting state, you're okay. But you can't do like, I can't go back right now and do another state of fertilizer and it's 100% fertilized just like that. I have to wait until it's growing to fertilize again, okay? So let me hop back in here. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to grow our crop. Now, again, if this is a third harvest on this particular field that you're doing it on, you would have to plow, and then you would have to also lime. So the stages you want to take, and I do have a video that I'll link here in the top right corner, guys, that shows you how to get 100% yield bonus every single time you plant your harvest. So make sure you go check out that video on your how to improve your yield. I do have a video on that. Let's drop this down right here and let's attach that. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to hop out of here, and we're going to grow our crop to like the first state, second state, whatever, and then I'll bring you guys back in to the video, and I'll show you that you have to fertilize it again to get it to 100% fertilization. All right, so this is our first growth state right here in which you would want to fertilize again, okay? So let's go back up to, make sure you got this menu pulled up here, guys, right here. This shows your fertilizing state. So again, the light blue means you are 50% fertilized. The dark blue means you are 100% fertilized, okay? So you'll notice when we start fertilizing, this field is going to start turning dark blue just like these fields here, okay? So let's hop back out. Let's grab our tractor. Let's hook back up to that. All right, and we're going to start fertilizing this field again. Now, at this point, sometimes you can't see the field getting damp, but the way that I've noticed how to do it is, if you can see the field at all, is just go up into a kind of bird's eye view like this. And you don't have to go quite that high, but you can. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to start fertilizing this field. And you can kind of see the field get damp there, but also if I stop, right, if I stop here and I open up that menu again, you're going to see right there that it's starting to turn dark blue, which means it's getting to 100% fertilization, okay? So just keep that in mind. So we're going to fertilize this field real quick. It won't take me long, so I'm just going to keep you guys in the video with me. We're going to turn around this way. We're going to start fertilizing this side of the field. Let's go out this way. And again, if you go into a bird's eye view like this, you can see, oh, and we missed a spot right there planting, as you guys can see. It happens. It happens like that. That's just the way it is. As Forrest Gump says, it happens. But, yeah, that is the unfortunate part of it. Now, you can kind of see the field getting damp. In some spots you can, in some spots you can't. You just kind of got to, but again, that menu is going to be your best friend right here. See that? That menu is going to be your best friend right there, all right? So that's the menu that you want to use. We got to get over this way. I am not a very good driver. I cannot drive. One of my friends come into my chats all the time. He goes by the name of Pitbull Gaming, and his name is Michael, and we've been friends for a very long time, and he's always telling me in my live chat how I can't drive, which he's probably right because I can't drive. All right, so look at that menu as you're going, and it'll start filling all that up in dark blue. Let's cut it off there, shut the tractor down, and now you will, man, if I change that one more time, and now you guys can see the entire field is in a dark blue, which means it is 100% fertilized. So we are ready to go. If we hop out of the tractor and go into the field, you will see down there we are 100% fertilized. We have a 97% plus yield bonus, which is a really good thing. That's a really good thing. All right, let's hop back in. And again, if you put bees somewhere around your, like next to your field, say like, you know, and they don't have to be like, you don't have to have them like right up on the field, like next to it, but you can put them, somewhere, like you can put bees over here, and this bees help with your yield, right? So you can put your bees somewhere like over here, or if this is the main part of your farm, you can even put your bees as far as, you know, over here or anywhere on your farm, as long as you own the land and you've got your bees somewhere on those spot where you own the land, whether it's this part of the land or separate part of the land. It'll help with your yield when you put those bees down. All right, let's grab this tractor right here. Yes, I do have player speed in my game. That is only a PC mod. So I know a lot of people are going to ask her on console, and I know console players get left out of a lot of mods, but that is a PC only mod. Player speed is, I believe. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to park this right back over here. All right, we're going to jump out, and we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to grow this until it gets ready to harvest, and I will bring you all back into the video. And once we are ready to harvest, guys, you will see it right there, ready to harvest. The red beets are looking beautiful. As you guys can see, we did miss a spot here on planting, and it just happens sometimes. It's not a big deal if you miss a spot. It does affect your yield a little bit. As you guys can see, if I would have gotten that spot right there and planted right there, I would have probably gotten 100% yield bonus. But it is what it is. We're going to make a lot of money out of this anyway, which this is not a video on how to make money. This is a video on how to harvest how to plant and harvest red beets in your root crop. If I do have a video on making money and how to make easy money in Farm Sim, if you want to check that video out, I'll link it in the top right corner here, guys. You can go check that out. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to hop into our harvester here. I recommend putting this mod into your game, guys, okay? That way it's a little easier on harvesting your vegetables. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to hop in here. We're going to pull up to this piece right here. We're going to hook up. We're going to unfold the machine. I believe it was actually already unfolded, yeah. So we're going to go out and we're going to unfold this part of the machine here. It's going to do just like so. We're going to drive up here and we're going to start harvesting these red beets. I'm going to show you guys where to sell them at and all that. All right, and you're just going to pull up just like this. You're going to turn the machine on and we're going to start harvesting. And there we go. Now the upside to this machine, like I said, opposed to the other the in-game machines that Giants decided it would be a good idea to put in the game, which was really stupid. The difference in this machine and those machines is this machine actually stores the crop inside the harvester. The other machines do not do that. There's only a couple of machines that do, and you got to do it by one crate at a time, which is kind of stupid. It's actually really stupid. I don't know why Giants thought that was going to be a good idea, but it's not. It's actually a really stupid idea. But this is it, guys, right here. So I'm gonna finish up harvesting these red beets, guys, and once I bring y'all back to the video, we will talk about prices and exactly where the best place is to sell these red beets. All right, so one more thing I want to show you guys before we actually go and sell our red beets here is once you get a harvester full of red beets, you're gonna pull up next to your trailer here. Just like so. You want to make sure that you're not too close, but pretty close. And you are going to look up there in your window, and it's going to give you the option to pipe out. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to go ahead and pipe out. And if it just so happens the other trailer like that, you can adjust that just like so. You can also adjust the top of it like that. You can bring it up and down. Just like so. But sometimes if you take it too far down, the sugar beets will stop pouring out, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to take the pipe too far down. I don't know why it does that. Yet again, another bug that Giants has to work out. So, all right, so we're gonna get a trailer full of sugar. Not sugar beets, guys. If I said sugar beets, I'm so sorry. Red beets, not sugar beets. Red beets. All right, and then you're gonna pipe back in. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna park this right here. I'm not gonna do the whole field, and we're gonna hop into our tractor and let's go into the menu. Let's go to prices and let's go down to red beets. And right here, you guys are going to see they don't sell for very much. Root crops don't sell for very much. That's why you don't normally see me messing with them. I normally harvest stuff like peas and spinach, honey, stuff like that pays for quite a bit. But red beets only pay, you know, $375 per liter at the farmer's market. Now, if you take it to Erlengrot, it sells for $378 per liter there, but this is a store point. If you take it to Erlengrot or anything that has a train beside it right here, it's going to store the crop instead of actually selling it to you. So you won't get the money right away. You'll have to store it there, and then once it all gets stored up and you get it as full as you want, you go back, you put it on the train, send it across town, the train sells it, and then you get the money for it. However, it is better to go ahead and get the money right away. That way you're getting paid. You're not having to wait on the train to sell your crop for you. So we're going to tag the farmer's market there. That's where we're going to go. All right, and right there's our tag. And we're going to put this lid on here. There is an option up there, guys, to put your lid on in there, which is the in key. It will open the cover just like so. In is in Nora, and close the cover. All right, so we're going to head over to the farmer's market. We are on, I believe this is Riverbend Springs, I think. No, this is the Zalanka. This is actually the map Zalanka. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this was Riverbend Springs. So we're going to head over to the farmer's market here and sell these. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I said this yet, but make sure that y'all are subbing the channel and, you know, hitting the like button for me. It does rate the videos a bit higher and puts the video there for more people to see. I noticed people are watching the tutorials. We're getting quite a few views over here, but we're not getting very many likes, and it kind of sucks that people just are too lazy to hit the like button. Like, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. If you're watching the video, hit the like button, man. It's not that hard to do. It's free. It's free to do. Your attention span can't possibly be that short. I mean, come on, hit the like button for me, guys. It really helps the videos. All right, so we're going to pull up right here. And when you pull up, guys, if you look up there in my help window, you'll see right there where my tractor is and my implement attached to the back. I am switching between the two just like that, okay? Make sure when you pull up to sell your crop, whatever kind of trailer you're pulling behind you or whatever you're pulling, make sure that implement is selected and highlighted in white just like that. If not, it will not let you dump your trailer and sell it, okay? So we're going to pull up here. You'll get that prompt right there. You're going to go ahead and dump your trailer out. There goes our red beets. And we're probably not going to get much for them, much more than what we had before. Like I always say, even if it don't pay much, it's more money than what you had before, right? But I just don't mess with crops that don't pay much. I like to make money on this game. All right, so we made $16,000 on a trailer or a harvester full of red beets. That is pretty much it when it comes to harvesting your root crops, guys, as far as your potatoes. The only thing that's not harvested, that's not planted like that, I believe, is sugar beets. Sugar beets are done through a planter, or I think it's a planter that sugar beets are done through. So you don't have to like do the grooves and all that. That's only done with red beets, carrots, parsnips, and potatoes. So those are all harvested the same way. With that being said, everyone, subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button for me. Click that bell and click all, so you never miss any of your content or live streams. And hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Do not be that lazy. It's not hard to hit the like button, and it costs you absolutely nothing. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing to hit the bell and click all. It costs you nothing to like the video. The only way you spend money on this channel is if you are purchasing a membership or sending a donation, and that's not what I'm asking you to do. I don't ask for money over here. The only thing I ask in return for doing these videos is to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and click all. If you don't click the bell and click all, you're never going to get notified when I post new tutorials, and we do these all the time over here, okay? And hit the like button on your way out. Please hit the like button. It doesn't take that much effort to do it. It's just the click of a finger. That's all it takes. The click of a finger, okay? Come on, guys. Don't be part of that lazy nation that we live in, okay? With that being said, everyone, have an amazing day. May Jesus shine in your heart like the brightest star. And until next time, everyone, this is CJ Farms, and one crop at a time, we are helping America grow. I will see you all in the next video.